Hello, and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. I'm here on the shorter time frame. In the previous video, we covered the larger time frame already. So in case you are interested in that larger time frame, check out the previous video. It remains valid for now. The idea here at the moment on the Bitcoin chart is that this is a fourth wave pullback. That was sort of the communication in the last update as well. Fourth wave correction, fourth wave pullback unfolding right now. And we are currently testing the support zone I shared with you in the previous video as well. So it's currently pretty much all aligned with, let's say, the expected price action. Yeah. What I have added in addition, you could say an additional alternative scenario here to the chart. It's also a wave 4, but that's the yellow scenario. So you see two scenarios on the chart, a more directly bullish one as shown in white, and then the scenario which is also potentially bullish but allows for a slightly deeper pullback, and that is the yellow scenario. So we want to talk about both of them, but only here on the shorter time frame. First of all, the move to the upside here in a potential 5-wave pattern in the white scenario in a very direct fashion. This scenario, there's nothing wrong with that scenario. It remains valid, it remains plausible, and we are moving up in a 1-2-1-2 scenario. The wave 2 bottomed most likely here around the 10th of August. That was on Sunday, and now we're working our way higher in a third wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could complete the third wave there, which should reach the 123,600 level. That's the 138% extension and an ideal target for such a third wave. I think it's important to recognize that the subwave structure here in the white scenario has some problems, which is why it was not my preferred interpretation before. Even now, it has some problems. It's not a high confidence scenario. One problem is, for example, that this here looks more like a 3-wave move up. Another problem is that if this is a 1-2-1-2 setup, then the second wave 2 is very shallow. Another problem is that the second wave 1 is very long compared to the larger wave 1, so the larger degree wave 1. So there are some problems, and this internal wave 4 is also quite a deep pullback. So I've spent a bit of time today after posting the last update to develop a reasonable alternative scenario. Even in this white scenario, a pullback into this upper micro support was likely anyway, was expected anyway. So we haven't gone anywhere. So I thought about, okay, what could be a reasonable alternative scenario? And it is here the yellow scenario. So again, in the white count, if we now see an increase in upside momentum, then this is likely going to be the next leg up, the 5th wave of the third wave, and then we should move higher towards 130K. You could say even in a fairly direct fashion. That would be, of course, ideal. Now, but the question is, of course, what if we break below upper micro support? What if we break below 119,338? Remember, I posted that earlier today. There is a CME gap. Yeah, there is a CME gap in this area between, I think it's 116 to 119K. So what if this needs to be closed? Well, this is where I thought about what could be a reasonable alternative scenario. And a reasonable alternative count would be this one, where we say we have a wave 1, we have a wave 2. All of this is a third wave. But then again, we're dealing with possibly even a diagonal pattern. And then we are working our way lower in a larger 4. Should in that case then hold $115,800. That is here where the previous swing lows are located. That's below the gap. And that is the 61.8 retracement. And that level should hold if we get a larger corrective pullback, which could then set the stage for a 5th wave to the upside, which we would then start with a little bit of a delay. Yeah, these are the two scenarios I'm tracking. In the yellow count, it would be an ABC structure that would be unfolding right now. B wave bounce should start shortly and could then send the price a little lower in yellow wave 4. Yeah. So that's kind of sort of my view here at the moment. I mean, we have not even broken below upper micro support. Honestly, from that point of view, there is no real signal yet at this point that a deeper pullback is unfolding. You know, also what we need to see now is the structure basically of that next bounce. I would want to see the structure of the next bounce to tell me, you know, which scenario is it really. Need to understand if that next bounce is corrective in nature, like yellow wave B, or are we dealing with an impulse like in the white wave 5? You know? This is important. It's going to be the structure that we need to see that should help us distinguish between the yellow and the white scenarios. Also, what else helps us to distinguish between these? Well, it's the upper micro support area. I mean, as I said, any break below that upper micro support will likely send us into the lower support area. And if that happens, then we do have some clarity that it is not the white scenario. So that should give you the levels to know. I mean, the levels haven't really changed. I've just added the lower support area together with the yellow scenario in case we need a bit of a deeper pullback, which is not unlikely given that the CME gap is positioned a little bit lower. But a lot of coins, especially like coins like Sui, Solana, they're currently working on wave 4s, and they seem to work on smaller degree ones. So that aligns very well with the white count. So the buyers step in here. I think there's a good likelihood this is a 5th wave up. That's the update on Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, feel free to join us on X for additional updates. Here, you get additional updates, posts, and you know, fun stuff. And you can ask questions. I'll be there after this video to answer questions. If you have any, just post them below my last post. And yeah, it's a great opportunity to connect. I post a link in the description and in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.